today I'm going to be doing something slightly different to normal. I'm going to be painting some scenery for board games. These barrels could be used for various games, sort of the good size for Zombicide or Dark Souls, and they can replace the sort of barrel token. I know the Kickstarter people are going to be getting some as a bonus eventually. I've got a completely different reason for doing these, but I won't spoil that yet. I'll let you sort of guess in the comments if you want to what I'm going to be doing with these. It is to do with a CMON game, so that's a little clue for you, and that'll be in an upcoming video soon. One thing that did come to me by the end of painting these 4 barrels was that I don't actually need all 4, I only need 2 or 3 of them. I was wondering if running a sort of competition and people winning various things that I paint would be appealing to anybody. So let us know if that's the sort of thing you'd be interested in the comments below as well. I'll start by showing you the paints that I've used during this tutorial. As you can see, it's actually only 5 different pots this time: a dark brown, medium brown, a light brown, a metallic and a shader. So it's a fairly simple tutorial to follow along with. And all the paints along with the barrels themselves are available at Element Games, which I'll leave links in the description below. I'll start by showing you sort of the priming that I did. So as normal, I'm blue tacking them down so they don't blow over, and then protecting my work surface with some card, and then I'm applying my black primer in even strokes left to right, and then turning it upside down at the end to make sure I don't clog the nozzle. Once the primer's dried, I'm going to paint the middle part of the barrel. This is made up of a top, a middle and lower section separated by metal. And I'm going to paint the middle section using the middle brown that I've chosen for this tutorial, the leather brown by Vallejo, and paint all the way around the middle. I'm then going to take the charred brown and apply that to the bottom section of the barrel. What I'm going to be going for is a sort of highlight of the barrel being the darkest at the bottom, where there's least light, growing gradually lighter to the top. So once I've painted the bottom layer of the wood, I'm also going to start blending that very crudely into the middle layer, as you can see there. And then I'm going to take my lightest brown for the tutorial, the bronze Fleshtone, and paint the top level of wood. As you can see, that's looking a lot brighter. And paint all the way around. I'm trying not to get the paint in the crevices, that I can use the primer as the shader straight away. I'm going to also remember to paint the top of the barrel at last, so I painted the middle where it'll be lightest there. And then I'm taking the Machinegun metal from the army painter, and I'm going to go around and paint all of the metal work on the barrel. Just applying this very quickly. It's quite a therapeutic paint job this. Just get a spin round and round and round and apply some paint. Getting the bungs, I'm also doing those in metal, although they could be sort of cork. And then after all that paint's dried, I'm just going to apply my black shader, the Survivor shader by Army Painter. I'm going to apply that all over to all the wood and all the metal alike, just applying and spinning, applying and spinning. Getting plenty all over it, as you can see there. And once that's dried, I'm going to go straight onto highlighting. I'm going to take a leather brown and my dry brush, scrape all the paint off of it, and then apply the smallest amount possible all over the barrel. I'm taking some care not to get any of the paint on the metal, but I will be highlighting that up after this. As you can see, I'm just turning the barrel and highlighting it, dry brushing across it. And next is back to the Machinegun metal, and applying this to highlight up all the metal parts of the barrel. I'm doing this on a white background here. I was trying to hopefully get the lighting a bit better so you could see what was going on. I am going to paint 2 barrels in this tutorial, and the next one I'll do on a black background, so hopefully you can see between them how it looks. And that's it finished. So I'll just show you. Hopefully you can see it's darker at the bottom, gradually getting lighter towards the top. So when this is on the board, it looks very realistic. You're obviously looking down at it anyway, so it looks how it should do when it's sat on the table. For this one, for my grand scheme, I need a barrel that's actually laid down. So for this part of the tutorial, I'm going to paint this barrel as though it's laid on its side. So it's going to use the same techniques as before. I'm taking the middle of the 3 browns, the leather brown, and painting the middle section of the barrel, except this time it's horizontal instead of vertically. So I'm just painting a rough number of boards there, as you can see. And then remember to do the top and the back, because this time whichever side you look at it, with the lights falling on the side, so I need to paint the back of it. I think the majority of use cases would be that you want to paint them all as though they're stood up, but I do need to lay one down, as you'll see in an upcoming video if all goes to plan. Remembering to paint the top again, so I'm just painting all the middle again with the medium brown. I'm taking the charred brown here, so the darkest of my 3, and painting what's going to be the bottom of the barrel, so the bottom side, painting those 3 boards that I left, and then bleeding it and blending it into both sides of the medium brown. And on the top, I'm just painting around the edges where the shadow would fall from the rim. I'm just blending it a little bit better, scraping it onto the medium brown there. Hopefully you can see that starting to blend quite nicely. And then I'm taking the bronze Fleshtone, the lightest of the 3 that I'm using, quickly filling in the middle where the light would hit, and then doing the last 3 boards of the barrel, and then I will be blending it. So to blend it, I'm sort of scraping most of the paint off the brush and then dry brushing onto the leather brown. Again, I'm using the Machinegun metal to do all the metal work on this barrel, as well as the bungs, and just turning the barrel and holding the brush there. You can see it starts taking its shape fairly quickly. These barrels both took about 20 minutes each, so it's a fairly fast amount of work. It's pretty enjoyable to paint. I'd recommend it. It doesn't take a lot of time to add a little bit of scenery to any board game. Just chuck a couple of painted barrels around. Again, I'm just using the same shading technique, the black shader that I have, and applying it liberally all over the barrel. As you can see, it's pretty dark after shading. So onto the highlighting again, leather brown, same as in the previous part of the tutorial, and I'm dry brushing it across all the boards. As you can see, it starts lightening up the barrel, but leaving the darker bits darker and gradually building up to the lighter bits. I'm applying about the same amount of paint to all of it though, and the base coat's doing the work for us here. And there you can see the brown was starting to take form, and just going on to the highlighting of the metal, I'm just using the same metal as I used the base coat, and just highlighting the top of the barrel this time. Well, the top side. Remember, I'm going to be laying this one down, as you can see, sort of checking it out sideways, how it'll look, and there it's finished. So it looks a bit weird straight up, but when you turn it on its side, hopefully you can see it's darker at the bottom. Didn't highlight any of the metal, and it gets lighter at the top. So when that's laid down, it should look the same as the other barrel, the light hitting it from the top and casting a shadow down. I think these look fairly realistic, and there's all 4 painted with the one I've done on its side laid down. That isn't my lamp hitting the top, that's just the shading done. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. Let me know in the comments below if you did. Mostly I've been doing Machinegun and Arcadia Quest, but I play lots and lots of other board games, and I do intend to paint them all. So let me know if I should stick to Machinegun and Arcadia Quest, or if you'd like to see a more diversified amount of games painted. And come and find me on Facebook, Twitter and Patreon. Thanks for watching.